Hi YouTube, it's your boy Grassy TV and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to introduce you to a powerful resource for all Hero Siege 2 players, the Hero Siege Helper website. This tool provides a wealth of data from hero stats to item details and is an essential companion for anyone looking to refine their strategies. In this video, I'll walk you through its key features to help you get the most out of it. Now, before we get started, I do want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to the creator of this website, Seiko. This website actually officially launched back in August of 2024 and just single-handedly kept this thing updated and maintained since then, even through the immense changes that we've had recently. As of right now, I don't see a donation link or a support link for him, so be sure to go into the official Hero Siege Discord and add him saying, "Thanks, bro." Also, the project is completely player driven, so there may be some information that's outdated here and there. Without further ado, let's get started. First, we have wiki links. This is direct links to the official Hero Siege 2 wiki. So you can see if I click on mechanics, this will give us a list of mechanics in the game that is on the Hero Siege 2 wiki. Next, we have other tools and websites. This is a list of community developed tools for Hero Siege. Understand that none of this stuff is managed or sponsored by Panic Art Studios. So all of this stuff is just player and community driven. Starting with the rune calculator, this is going to help you efficiently manage and combine your runes. So you can see that here's maybe your starting rune, here's the rune that you want to get to. You can hit calculate and it'll tell you how many old runes you need to craft a particular rune. Next, we have Hero Siege stats. This can be found on GitHub. This is a really cool tool. Basically just tracks simple requests that are made by the game and shows them in a nice little display. So this will give you your gold amount, how much gold you're gaining per hour, how long your end zones, if you have mail, what the current satanic zones are. It's a super cool way to just get some basic information. Now, this is not against the terms of service. I have double checked this to make sure so that we don't get anybody in trouble. This is not against terms of service. All this is doing is just tracking some basic information and displaying it for you. There's nothing wrong with that. Next, we have a link to the Hero Siege editor. This is a tool that can help you edit your local files with items to help you do some build testing. Again, this is not maintained by Panic Art Studios. They have no affiliation with this whatsoever. Next, we have another Hero Siege 2 rune converter. You can see we can click on a particular rune and show its conversion options. The Hero Siege compilation sheet. This is fairly outdated. I wouldn't even use this. Next, we have the Hero Siege DPS calculator. This is a Google Doc created by the player Intoner that explains how DPS is calculated for attackers. There is a ton of information in here. You can tell that he has really gone through and tested a lot to get to a final formula at the very bottom here of how attack damage is calculated in Hero Siege. The next tab is data. This has all information on affix names and values, a list of character abilities, and other data from the translation files. The most important part of all of this is really the affix section. This is still a work in progress, but it's really the only place that you can find information on all the different affixes and the tiers for those affixes. If you're a newer player or just looking for some additional information, there is a FAQ available, or frequently asked questions, where a ton of different questions have been asked by a majority of players that you can get some additional context on. Believe it or not, Hero Siege does have some Easter eggs. So here are the free in-game rewards via those Easter eggs and explaining how to get to each of those and complete them. The Bifrost section gives information on all possible key selections, the chance of getting each, and a description of each so that you know exactly what you're getting into. For a more detailed description of each of these, I do have my Ultimate Beginner's Guide where I go in depth of maybe why you would choose specific ones and what you can get from those zones. Next is the items tab, and this is a full items catalog with search functionality, thank God. You can also filter with these selectable stats to find items. The augments section has a full list of all available augments in the game with their effects and values based on the augment's level. You can also see how many keys are required for each augment upgrade based on your augment's current level. The rune words tab will give you information on how rune words work and show you the minimum character level required to equip a rune word. The rune section will show you every rune in the game from low, mid, high, and angelic runes, gives you a description of them, their level requirement, and gives you their order so that you know if you're upgrading a rune, you'll go from F to Uth, or if you're downgrading an F rune, you would go from F to NAF. The subskill compendium. This tool gives you information on all subskill trees for every class and skill in the game. Again, I do have a video showcasing all these subskill trees for every class in the game and shows you all of the values for each of the nodes that you're welcome to check out. Under auras and abilities, you can see all of the item abilities and aura effects. So for example, if you wanted to see redemption, you could find that aura effect here as well as what item it's found on. The same applies for item abilities. So if we're looking for rim skins, We can see what that ability does, as well as what items that ability is found on. The keys tab has a full list of all keys in the game and the location for each key. This is extremely helpful when doing key rotas with a group. You can view the key prices as well as additional metrics, but note that the key prices are updated by you. This is not information gathered from the API. You have to update these values in here yourself. The dungeons tab will give you a full list of all dungeons in the game with specific information on the pack counts, so you can see exactly each mob type and how many of that mob there is, mining nodes, dungeon chests, shrines, all that information. You can also filter these dungeons based off of that information. So if I'm looking for a dungeon that has the most amount of shrines, you can see that Pumpkin Cellar has the least amount. I can go by descending. Forgotten City has the most amount. The glyphs page will give you an overview of all glyphs in the game. It'll also show you their effect based on the amount of points that are allocated around them. And you can change the glyph's quality to see how the effect of the glyph will change based on its quality. For Glyph XP, this page will show the most efficient keys to use based on experience gained or gold cost. Again, the gold cost is maintained by you. There is not an API where they're getting this information from. You have to update these prices. The Codex section will give you a brief explanation of the Codex system, the available Codex rune words, and a list of all orbs available in the game. Just a side note, in Season 6, orbs are no longer going to have roll values. They're going to be just set values so you can stack them. So the information about the orbs and their different roles is relevant for Season 5, but going forward in Season 6, this will change. The boss tab has information on all bosses in the game with their specific drop pools, as well as we can click on show chances right here. And this will show us the % chance of getting each of these boss drops based on Hell 5 difficulty. The reason why there's not maybe Hell 1 through Hell 4 is, generally speaking, a lot of these items you can't even get below Hell 5, nor would you even want to try to farm them below Hell 5. The EXP page has a chart showing the amount of experience that you're going to need for hero levels 1 through hero level 100. There's also the EXP calculator, so you can see exactly how much experience you're going to need from hero level 50 to hero level 92. The seasons page will show a short description of the seasons and their start and end dates. This one's really cool because you can see that most seasons are generally 2 to 3 months at most. So season 1, we had 3 months and 10 days. Season 2 was only 2 months. Season 3 was only 2.5 months. Season 4 was only 2.5 to 2 months. The longest season we've had was season 4.5. Next, we have rarity, and this just shows each item's rarity, a description of each, and other information. So you can see a mythic item will get 3 to 6 affixes on it that are random, and whenever you prospect it, it will turn into a mythic dust. Next, we have an exportable hero level tree. You can hover over any of these nodes and it will tell you what it does based off of the hero level tree in game. And you can also export this to a clipboard. You can put it as a URL to send it to somebody. Next, we have the highlight section, and this is a bunch of preset highlight filters for different archetypes in the game. You can see we can select the Arcane Caster, and it shows you all of the available mods on the different item types. This one's really, really cool because I can tell over here these common actions. This is stuff that I did on build guides whenever I put out filters for. I was explaining like, hey, here's how I did my filter. I would remove movement speed from boots. I would add life and mana onto charms and gloves and amulets and things like that. So it looks like he took some of that information and put that in here for common actions, because all boots have movement speed. So you can just take that off. Really, really cool. And it updates this automatically. You can put this directly into your highlight filter. I absolutely love this. Next, we have the price calculators, and this is a way that you can import prices for specific items. So if you want, key prices, crafting mats, runes, gems, you can go in here and manually add your prices. This information here is not gathered from an API. This is not gathered from the auction house in Hero Siege. These numbers are just random numbers that were put in here. You need to go in here and edit these numbers yourself. And last but not least, we do have some unfinished parts here. My guess is this is what he's working on. So this is a giant quest log, so you can see exactly how to complete quests. It looks like he is working on a way that you can get damage values based on your base weapon damage and the Google Doc for the formula. Really cool. And last but not least, we have zones. This just shows you every zone in the game for each act, what dungeons are in those zones, what key you would need for that dungeon. This is really cool as well if you're trying to do maybe a key rota. You can just, everybody start right in Act 1, dump all your keys to one person, and then you can go, okay, first one's 1-1, the next one is 1-3, the next one is 1-4. And that's going to wrap up today's video talking about the new Hero Siege helper website for Hero Siege 2. Be sure you leave a comment down below saying thank you, Seiko. I really am trying to do my best to get this website out there and get as much coverage and exposure for it as I can, because it's very well done. There's a ton of information in here that new players really need to know, and the man deserves as much credit as he can get for this. Be sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button to keep up to date with all Hero Siege 2 related news. I am playing the Season 6 beta over on Twitch at twitch.tv/GraxyTV. We're messing with the new blood pack system, so that's really, really fun. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.